be an old nigga. Remember when albums were just for one artist to show their craft and only had two other artists on their album? It's not like that anymore. Whenever a new album comes out, the first question is always, who is featured on the album? Or what features do you want to hear?
I must be old.
Remember when DMX would make one song with Jay-Z, The Locks, Dragon, and Memphis Bleak, and everyone had 8 bars, and the
Oh
song
my
was like
god,
7 minutes long?
playing
What happened to that?
it.
Now every song is like that, but only 2 minutes long. Why the hell are there so many 2 minute long songs?
Playing it.
Phyllis, what do you think?
I mean,
Are rappers not able to make albums on their own anymore?
straight
Or do you just need that much help to complete an album nowadays?
I don't know, man. I think that you might need help on the album for artists that are more known as like feature artists. So let me give you like a really good example. Like French
Okay.
Montana.
So he's a feature artist?
Yeah, because he started off, doing the videos, right? So he
Right.
do the videos, go all over the fucking place, all over the hood, and be like, "Yo, I'm gonna go ahead, do the video with you and shit like that." And then he would throw his own like music videos within the actual whole DVD set that you would get, right? Boom. That's how he
Okay.
got like him and Max B. That's smart move, bro. But he would go to like every projects, every hood in like New York and all over LA to go ahead and do that, right? Boom. So that's how he got on. But he always had features. He got popular because of features. He had niggas featured on his albums. He had niggas featured on his hit songs like Drake and stuff like that because him and Drake got
Hmm.
cool. So he
Hmm.
would always have features. And now you kind of just expect that to happen. But you got to pay for those features, right?
Right.
Unless you somebody like French Montana because he has so many connects. He has real relationships with these cats. They don't charge him for anything. So like Future doesn't charge like a lot of artists for like features and stuff, and Drake doesn't because they have these relationships and they all want everybody to get money. So I just feel like it's not about. I don't think it's like about the fact that they can't rap on their own, but I really do think it's because there's certain artists that are just known for having features, like DJ Khaled. A lot of these niggas out here are DJ Khaled babies. You know what I'm saying? So they need like 17 people featured on a song just to go ahead and make it.
Okay, so real quick, why is that? What happened between now and then? And when I mean then, I mean like back in 96, 97, when, all the music was popping,
Mm-hmm.
where, like I was saying, you can get like a drag on a DMX song, and he would get all his homies on like just one song, and it would be a great song. All the locks would get 8 bars, maybe even 12 bars. I don't know. But why is it that back then when I heard that, I was like, yo, I want to hear Dragon on his own shit.
Right.
Yo, I want to hear Memphis Bleak on his own shit, because they took that 8 to 12 bars and they made it matter. Because we was gonna listen to DMX regardless. So when
Right.
I heard those songs with them on it, I'm like, I want to hear them now. And I know it's supposed to work the same way now, but now it's more so like their first single is
Mm-hmm.
somebody like a Drake on there, with like
Yeah.
a Future or someone like that.
Yep.
Whereas like DMX came out, it was first song was like "Get at Me, dog." It's me on my own. You want to hear my album, and then I'm gonna put my
Mm-hmm.
friends, my people, or my who people I think who could spit on these albums, and it's like vice versa now. It's like I got to
Right.
use these people to make myself hot or make myself popular in order for people to hear my albums. But when they hear my albums, it's just more of the same thing. It's more of the same, just features, and like every song has at least two people on there, and you might look and see, oh, Future's going to be on this song, but he's just on the hook. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like what's going on there?
I think it's just like everyone gets money together that way. And if you're like an artist that's not very popular, it helps to have those features on your album because they might like not want to listen to you because you're new and everybody raps over saturation of the market, right? So they're
Right.
like, well, shit, he got a song with Drake. Let me go and listen to this nigga. And then, be like, oh, this nigga's all right. So I might listen to the rest of his songs and shit like that. That happens all the time, right? And that's like how like you kind of get introduced into the game. So like the way that the game works is that if you're like an unknown artist, like such as myself, right? I could pay like, let's say Currency for a feature, or Rock Marciano, or
Hmm.
Mayhem Loran, or maybe Action Bronson. They might charge me anywhere from 3 to 4 to 5 to 10 to 30 to 50 to 120, 200.
What's good, everybody? Hold on for a second. You hear me okay, big homie Wayne?
Not really, man. You sound kind of far away. A little far.
That's weird. Hold on. One moment. Hold on. You go ahead, Wayne. You can go ahead and start, homie.
Hello, hello. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Oh, there I go. Oh man, it's so great to see myself on TV. Good day, everyone. I am the big homie Wayne, and you are now watching another episode of the YFM podcast. We're gonna start something new today. This is gonna be
Yeah.
YFM Sports. There you go, man. You sound perfect too. You sound wonderful.
Go ahead, do your thing, homie.
Jimmy B. Fearless is right across from me, man. The great, one of the greats of all time, man. The greatest rappers, greatest people. He's one of the people that you got to get to know, man. He's a wonderful person. Anyway, YFM Sports, we're going to start that today. We got a couple of other things that we're going to talk about. We're going to run across the gamut when it comes to sports. We're going to talk about the Celtics and the Warriors, man. We're going to talk about that crazy ass game one. Fearless is a big sports guy, so we're going to jump into that a little bit as well. I'm going to throw in the little jabs and hooks and devil advocates, within it. So that's going to be pretty entertaining if you know me. Also, I believe we're going to get into a little bit of CM Punk news. That's wrestling, AEW news, maybe some WWE stuff. We'll talk a little bit about that. Really, this is going to be kind of like a laid back episode, man. We took last week off. We need a little break. It was the holiday, man. I hope everybody that's listening to this had a great holiday, man. I hope y'all were able
Word.
to have that Monday off and y'all did something. I heard that barbecues was at its lowest this year. And of course,
Mm.
you can imagine why, man. The food has gone up so astronomically that we can't even invite people over anymore. And I feel like in this the more we get older in our generation, we ask we ask people to bring things more. You know what I mean? Make sure you bring this. Make sure you bring your own dish. And of course, it's cool to help a little. But I just remember back growing up, everything was bought, everything was there. All you had to do was show up. You know what I mean? Like you may have to bring like a big K soda or something like that, but never like any dishes or any slabs of ribs or something like that, man. But times have changed, money has changed, everything has gone up. So yeah, man, we had the lowest barbecues this year for the weekend, and that's kind of sad because I'm a barbecue person, I'm a cookout person. I love for everybody to get together and just have fun and. But damn, man, those them's are the breaks, man. Those are the ills of the world. Um,
Hey, I want to talk about that real quick. I love motherfucking barbecue.
I do
So,
too, bro.
like for
I
real,
absolutely do, man.
I'm a barbecue advocate in this bitch. Like for real, and y'all
Mhm.
know I don't even eat meat, so I'm using Impossible burgers and Beyond sausage and all this fucking shit. You know what I'm saying? And I swear, man, for load. I cannot believe that shit like basket or that the barbecues were low, but that really does show you how much the dollar is not stretching as it used to. Like I heard that Whole Foods, their little salad bar shit is going up to 13.99. That shit used to be 9.99. There's a
Oh wow!
the
So is that like an
pizzas.
all you can eat salad thing? I'm not.
Nah,
I'm.
nigga, it's per pound.
Oh wow,
So that's
that's
thirteen
crazy.
ninety nine a pound, my G. You know how
Yeah.
that's crazy, bro. So it's just like, yeah, man, it's really wild out here. It's really wild out here in these streets. So I would
Mhm.
just let everybody know, like, stress as much as you can, but you still gotta have time to commune with family and friends and just have that time off.
Man, we gonna
Straight
see.
up.
That's this is what we're talking about. That's what the metaverse is for, man. Like metaverse, like
Nigga,
we gonna be having those internet barbecues in a little bit, bro. That's gonna be the way of the world, man. That's the future right now.
I
So
hate that shit.
um,
It shouldn't be like that at all, bro. But I think that's what it's gonna come down to.
yeah, it's cheaper.
So
It's
it is
cheaper,
cheaper.
so yeah, COVID is a thing still. So you don't want to get around those people who haven't been vaccinated or think it's all a joke. So
Ugh, yeah.
let's keep it virtual.
Word up, man. So you say you want to go ahead and talk about something this morning before, what I'm saying, get started. Go ahead, big homie. Let you have the
Yeah,
floor.
man. You kind of closed in on. Oh, there we go. Just wanted to give a RIP, man. To one of the greats. It actually shocked me so much when I found out that he passed away, man. This was so disheartening. I want to give it up to the great. You see him behind me, man. Ray Liotta.
Okay.
Played Henry Hill in Goodfellas. Is a great film. That's mostly where I know him from is Goodfellas. I know he was in, tons, loads of movies, but they say he died on set. I believe he was only 67 years old. Like I said, we were off last week, so we didn't really get to pay him his proper respects. Um, as far as I know, I don't think he's ever, called black people out of their name. And even though he's played lots of gangsters and mobsters and shit like that, so he's cool with me. He's cool with me. But I really hate that this happened to him and so soon. So I just want to send my condolences out to him and his family, man. And I don't think there'll be another gangster movie as great as Goodfellas. If you know any, let me know, man. If y'all have any opinions, anybody who's listening, can you name a better gangster movie than Goodfellas? And I would love to see y'all's choices and explanations as to why.
Yeah, man, that's a good question. Me, I don't think so. Not at all. I mean, Casino's great, but I don't like Casino because of all the fucking the stuff that happens to the people at the end. I don't really like that shit at all. But
Well, it kind of had to happen, man.
I
You know
know,
what I'm
man, but I just don't want to see that shit. It just made me depressed. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see nobody
Yeah,
get beat with no bat.
I feel you.
None of that shit. That shit was brutal, nigga. And I liked all the characters, so you know what I'm saying? I'm like, come on. But look, man, let's
Live, yeah.
so sad, broski. So sad. But let's go ahead, man. Let's get to the let's get to the real shit, man. If you don't mind, man. Let's talk about the Celtics, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Celtics versus the Warriors. The finals is set. We've already had one game. It was on Thursday. And I watched the highlights because I was at work, so I really couldn't watch the game live. And
Right.
you saw the Celtics actually beat the Warriors at Oracle, which is the Warriors' home, field. The crowd was rocking. It seemed like Steph Curry was going to have a monster, like a great game, and he did. He
Yeah.
scored like 33 points, and I
Seven
think,
threes in the first quarter.
right, he broke a record in the first quarter. But then they still lost.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were asking, like, why and how did this happen? For one, the casual fan don't know who the fuck really is on the Celtics, right?
Right.
For
True.
example, Wayne, you know how many people in the Celtics?
I know Jalen Brown. Shit, man. I know the light skinned nigga Tatum who always has his son. Need to go tell his son to sit his ass down somewhere. Always in the like he the damn assistant coach, man. Go sit down, man. Yo, entitled ass. Yeah,
Your
man. That's
little
all they.
baby.
I don't give a damn, bro. Like that's again, that's this new generation, bro. Like you never saw a lot of people's kids like that in the back,
They always had bring
doing
your
this
kid to
so
work there,
free
though.
day, my nigga, not season. Okay, day. You do see videos of like Michael Jordan with his kids in the back, and they be playing or they on the court every once in a while, but
That's Mike.
mostly just it's Mike. It's different. It's
That's
not
Mike.
like
It's
for
different.
everybody, my nigga. Like you're Jason Tatum. You're not like on that level. And
Fucking
not
comical.
to mention too, I'm going off topic a little bit. I know
Yup.
Tatum, like I think he looks weird with the tattoos, man. He's that nigga who just looks weird with the tattoos. He has nice tattoos. They look great, is what I mean, but they're just kind of all over the place. Like
Yeah.
no rhyme, no reason. And then
Yeah.
I don't know, he just looks like the kind of guy he's a good guy, maybe trying to look tough. I don't know. I
I
don't
want
know.
to talk about that.
Okay.
I want to talk about that. We're going to talk about all of that. So this was my analysis of the game, and then Wayne, you can go ahead and give me yours, right? That's how
Okay,
we're going to
yeah.
play it today. This is my analysis of the game. I was so surprised in the first half to see that the Celtics
Absolutely.
wasn't trapping or wasn't like switching or defending before the 3-point line. So in the first half, they was just like, first of all, they was missing a lot of defensive sets, the Celtics, and it was just letting Steph just go ahead and shoot. So you already know that if you give Steph Curry the option to shoot, he's going to shoot.
Absolutely. He's going to go for it.
But the Celtics knows this. But the Celtics was just like, Smart, he was backing off. They didn't switch with Horford. They
Mm-hmm.
was running, the Warriors were running just regular screens, Draymond Green screen, just easy, simple stuff. And Steph is just getting clear shots. But at the end of the first quarter, they was only down by like 2 points.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how is that possible when Steph is just bugging? He's shimmying, he doing his 1-2 thing. You know what I mean? Steph is out here snapping. But when you look at it, you're looking like, nobody else really doing anything. And I feel like that first quarter messed the Warriors up throughout the rest of the game because the Warriors were like, you know what? We're going to let Steph do his thing. And like, you didn't see Wiggins being his ultra athletic self, right? You didn't see a Poole out there going out and trying to attack the rim or go for threes. And then, as Hammond said, Clay did not go off. But Clay is still coming back from that injury, so he's very, very spotty, right? With his games. He's gonna give you 2 or 3 games in the series where he's gonna go the fuck off. But like he just did not do that. And I feel like that first quarter, they felt like, oh, Steph is just gonna dominate. And I really do believe that Steph Curry wants to get this MVP in the finals because everybody keep attacking him for not ever getting the MVP in the finals, and he's the best player on the Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like he just really just won off in the first quarter. And then after that, it just didn't happen. And what the Celtics did very well is that after that first quarter, they was like, you know what? We already know that Looney is going to get all the offensive rebounds. He's going to get a bunch of rebounds, right? We already know that Draymond Green can't really shoot that well, but he's going to try to facilitate. But what they did was that they started trapping earlier at that 3-point line right before, like, so you can get past half court. They started trapping. They started like doing just double sets on Steph or whoever had the ball. And then they started lagging off on Draymond because they know he wasn't going to do shit offensively. And it was so smart to see like, okay, the defense of the Celtics is their main point of how they're able to win. So that defense and them being able to make adjustments throughout the game and them having so much athleticism and length on the wing with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, they don't need to fucking defend the paint. Only thing they got to do is defend the mid-range to the 3-point line. And with all of their length, they can make it hard for the shooters of the Warriors to be able to do that. And they match up well. And I did not think that the Warriors matched up at all. They matched up perfect when it comes to the ability to have offense versus defense. Celtics don't have a lot of offense, period. But they still won, and Jaylen Brown played like shit. Or not Jaylen Brown, excuse me, Jason Tatum played like shit.
Yeah.
So I think the keys for victory for the Celtics is continue to use that athleticism in their length, because Smart is tall or, big and, bulky. Jaylen Brown is tall, lanky, is good defender. Jason Tatum is a good defender. And then their bench, they have enough good defenders to be able to stop. Not really, contain anybody, but be able to make stops on the offensive end against the Warriors.
Yeah.
So my analysis is, yes, this is very possible that the Celtics could win this series. I need to see this shit before it happens because I feel like the Warriors are going to have 2 or 3 games throughout this series where they're just going to shoot like 25 fucking threes and just like end the night. Mm-hmm. And the Celtics, they can get blown out. They got blown out by the Heat. They got blown out by the Bucks, But the Celtics are a really great defensive team. Since the All-Star break, they've been the number 1 defensive team in the league. So defense is their whole thing. The Warriors are based off of offense, and it's going to be a hell of a battle. This is going to be a 7-game series. I'm very excited to see this shit. I cannot wait till the game tomorrow, man, for real. And Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum is not going to play that bad. That motherfucker, the reason why he acts like he's a nice guy, right? Like you said, Wayne, he's a nice dude. But the reason why he's trying to act mean and getting all these tattoos and shit is because of the Mamba mentality. When he got into the league, his favorite player was Kobe Bryant. He hit up Kobe Bryant and he trained with Kobe Bryant until, Kobe passed. He trained with Kobe Bryant. They had a text relationship. They trained in the offseason. So he wants to have that killer instinct. But this was his first finals. So Jason Tatum was scared. Everybody is scared in their first finals game. but he gonna settle the fuck down. And I bet you next game they're gonna try to win that shit. The Celtics might win game 2, and that shit's gonna scare the fuck out of the Warriors because Jason Tatum is that quintessential wing that can shoot from all spots on the floor and defend. And he's only like 24, bro. This is some shit, man. The Warriors got their hands full like a motherfucker.
So let me jump in real quick. I don't know if you noticed, I got on my 2 chains today, man. So
Hey,
I'm about to get in my skip mode right now, man. If you don't mind, you
well,
know.
I got on Jesus
So
pieces, feeling like I'm resurrected. You already
you know,
know
I
how we
love
do.
it. I love it, man. I would get one too if I wasn't afraid that it would burn everything down. Burn me down, burn my own neck and shit. Um, so I gotta, I'm on my skip shit, so I gotta sound like a hater a little bit, man. Just because. So about the tattoos, I don't know what the tattoos have to do about Mamba mentality, man. I personally believe Kobe got those tattoos because he had got caught up in that whole little, I don't want to, that's that charge, and then he wanted to come back a little hard as well, man.
Well, he's a rapper, so Kobe was
Yeah.
always rapping. So
Yeah. I remember him on that Brian McKnight joint. That was a jam. Yeah.
yeah.
Where, but no. I really think that the Warriors aren't gonna allow this to happen again. I think they will embarrass, like you said, on their own turf. I don't believe that. Just like you said about Clay, he may be maybe off a step, or maybe he's not putting his all into it just yet because of the injury. I get that, but I think he's going to show up this next game. This is
Mhm.
always like, to me, this is always like two boxers are trying to feel each other out. You know what I mean? You don't want to automatically go for the 1-2 knockout punch. You want to see, like, if I try to do a knockout punch, this nigga will come up and uppercut me, and it's like, oh shit, I didn't see that happening. I
Trying to
think
get
that's
your
what the
timing.
Warriors did. Yeah. And I think we were so focused on Steph or Clay or somebody on the Warriors just going off, and that's what Steph did in the first quarter. But I
Mhm.
kind of liken this to 2K as well. When you play 2K, say you are playing with the Warriors or whoever the hell, right? You can be playing, you could be shooting the threes, you could be just like doing all types of shit in the air, making all the points, and then you look down at the score and the computer is probably like 4 points, beneath you, and you're like, damn, I didn't know they were like so neck and neck. But you were so focused on Steph and Clay and everybody else, they just kind of had your mind in the tizzy that you weren't realizing that the Celtics was doing everything that they were supposed to be doing as well.
Right.
You know what I mean? So our focus was off a little bit because of that, because we're just so focused on one person. And instead of just being, hey, let's watch this game and see what the hell is really going on. You do that. You absolutely do that. You could tell both ends of the other court. You could say this team is on this. What you've already explained that. I feel like you said, for the average viewer, you're more so focused on the superstars, and not everybody knows who this person and that person is on the
Yep.
Celtics. So
Like Derek White on the Celtics that was traded from the Spurs. Derek White
Mhm.
came into the game, not only provided defense, but offense. And that's the one thing. Like, if you make it to the NBA, you was the top NBA, you was the top player in the high school. In your
Yeah.
fucking high school, you was the top player, and you probably was the top player on your college team.
Yeah.
Unless you play for fucking Kentucky or Duke or something. You was third nigga, but you still in the NBA. So these motherfuckers can go off and score 20 at any time. So the
Mhm.
Celtics, they go 8 deep. The Warriors go 8 deep. But the Warriors, they got more interior like men. So they got more like big niggas that's going into the paint.
Mhm.
They don't got like, it's not like the same, bro. And they brought in Iguodala. They brought Iguodala back. They
Oh, yeah.
brought Peyton back from having his broken fucking elbow and shit. They're not really acclimated yet. They're not getting their cardio up. So they got to get ready for that shit. And these are also two like players. Like, who the fuck are they going to guard on the Celtics? The Celtics only are a 2-player offense type motherfucking team. They don't
Right.
score. And Al Horford is down there. This motherfucker made 6 threes last night. He's a fucking center, dog. If the center can stretch out the field, like stretch out the court that way, that's a problem. That's a problem. But go ahead, man. You were talking about my fault.
No,
I just
no.
wanted to mention that, like, how important it is with, like, yo, the Celtics have like top 100 players on a team, a bunch of them, but you
Yeah.
just don't know them because you never seen them. The average person, like, who the fuck is this nigga? So,
Yeah. So I kind of that kind of reminds me of the Celtics of old as well. You remember the big
Mhm.
Celtics? You had KG, and you had
Paul Pierce,
Ray
Ray Allen.
Allen, Paul Pierce. Yeah, man. Like, you knew of them. Of course, if you're an average fan, not an average fan, but you watch daily, of course you know who they are.
Mhm.
But the average fan may not know until you
Yep.
start winning. And
Yep.
when they start winning, that's when they start getting those endorsements. That's when you start seeing them being interviewed more before the games. That's when America starts to care. It starts because the
And
same
that's how
shit
the
happened
Warriors
to me.
was before.
Exactly. Same thing
The
happened to
Warriors,
me.
yep.
I remember because I remember they just came out and it was like the Splash Brothers this, Splash Brothers
You
that.
was
And
like,
I'm
who the
like,
fuck is this?
yeah,
Light
like who
skinned
these light
motherfucker.
skin? Yeah, word, man. Like who these goofy goober looking ass niggas, man? They don't look like basketball players. They look like they should be playing like croquet and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, look at these guys. But you started watching them and you're just like, oh
Yeah.
shit.
And
Like,
their dads, they're all legacy players.
right.
Both of their dads played in the NBA, and their moms are both athletic as fuck too. So these niggas was born to be in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
Shooters. They both of their
Born to
parents were
shred.
shooters. Yep.
I never understood that. I always try to play basketball with my son, man. And I'm like, yo, come on, shoot the ball, catch the ball. And I just don't see any coordination whatsoever, bro.
He's
So
like
I'm
3
just like,
years old, nigga.
I'm
What's
like,
wrong with
how,
you?
man? And then I'll be seeing like, I'll see videos of like Drake's son, and he be shooting the ball in a real goal, and I'll be like, yo, like what the hell? How do you teach your kids this? Like, how do you get that instinct, or how do you have
Because
that
Drake's
fire?
best friend is LeBron James, nigga. So he
But
can
you know
get
what?
there.
But I mean, I just feel like I can't even get Malcolm to play basketball on the Fisher Price goal for more than like 2 minutes. I have to like say, hey, come on, pay attention, pay attention, pay attention. And
You don't go.
I don't get it, bro. Like, I don't get how you tell your kids like this shit is fun. Learn how to do it. Come on. I'm still trying to get there, bro. But you're right. It is definitely if you got your parents, even if your parents are two greats like theirs are, then I still don't get how you make your kids do what you love to do, man. I don't know, but we'll just have to see. But but yeah, oh, I was saying, damn, what's that nigga name on the oh fuck, I just Tyler Hero. I remember I
On the
did that
Heat.
same thing happened. Yeah, he Tyler Hero. I didn't know shit about this dude, man. And then next thing I knew, they were talking about oh, he did this in the game. And like I said, they started
Mhm,
giving him more interviews. And I'm
mhm.
like, oh shit, well, yeah, he ain't that bad. I kind of see it for Tyler. I've never heard this guy before, never seen him, probably seen him a couple times, but just never
You
just went over my head. Who gives a
he,
shit, you know?
he wasn't so like the Heat are like kind of like what they call like a farm system. So baseball has
Mhm,
farm systems, right? So
mhm.
like baseball is really unique. You'll get drafted. They have like 100 fucking rounds in the draft, right? They'll draft everybody that played in college, basically, nigga. And you'll like be triple A, double A, single A. You know what I mean? Whoop de whoop. And they're gonna
Yeah,
build you up, right? And whoever is the best is the best. And that's how you come through. That's kind of how the Heat are. The Heat can't really attract top talent. And I don't know why. I really, really don't. But since like LeBron left and shit, they don't really attract like top talent. So what they
mhm.
do is that they'll just draft these cats that they be like, okay, he's a shooter or he's a defender. And then they'll just teach them everything else. Bro, they do not do that in the NBA. When you come into the NBA, you either know how to fucking play or you don't. They do not teach you shit. They're
Right.
not a developmental league at all. That's the reason why they have the G League. So that's why most players they'll just like hire an actual coach, a shooting coach, a dribbling coach, a defensive coach, and they'll do that shit in the off season. They come into the season like, yo, I'm ready to ball, nigga. Let's get it.
Right.
Because them NBA teams don't teach you none of that shit, none of it. So the Heat are good that way, but the Celtics are the same way, but they're different. They don't teach you like offense shit. Their coach is a defensive coach.
Mhm.
He came up underneath Pop and he's been all over the motherfucking, but he was under Brad Stevens for a long time. Brad Stevens last year, he stopped being the head coach of the Celtics and he went to be like general manager. And now their coach for the Celtics is a defensive minded coach. And that's all he preaches. And he has taught all those players how to play defense, but team defense. And that's
Mhm.
what makes it so fucking unique, man.
So one real quick, what I want to say about the one thing that I love about Celtics coach, I think how do you pronounce his name? Imi
Udoka.
Udoka,
Yeah.
is the fact that whenever he wins, we all win because we get to hear and see from the great Nia Long, because she is a beautiful piece of art, and they are together. They are one, and I love seeing her cheer her man on Twitter, mainly because like she's at home and she's just relaxing. She just looks great, man. So I think that's the one thing that I love about seeing this dude win is that I get to see more Nia Long, man.
Um,
Oh, go
I ain't
ahead,
even
bro.
think about that. That's the best
Yeah,
analysis on this show. Thank you
mhm,
so much,
mhm.
sir. But
No
look,
doubt,
who do
no
you
doubt.
so Wayne, who do you think and I'm sorry, I don't mean to step if you have any other points, but I was gonna ask you who you think gonna win this series.
I think the Warriors going to pull it out, man, and I want the Warriors to pull it out, mainly because I just hate. I think I hate Boston. I don't think we're we're as welcome as I think we are there, you know. And I just feel like the Boston Celtics fans, like when the Celtics start winning, I think the fans are just kind of like, you know what? Well, I tell you what, that's a good group of niggers. That's a
Oh,
good
so
group
you're
of
saying
niggers that
that the
we have.
Celtics are
So
racist
I believe that
because Boston
Boston
is
itself
racist.
is racist. Yeah, you
Yeah,
know,
Boston
and
is listed as one of the most racist places
that's
in
crazy.
like the United States. Dead ass.
Mhm.
But besides that, why do you want the Warriors to win? Because they're
I know,
tired.
I know,
They,
I know.
if that's your point, I get you. You
Mhm.
win on that one. I
Yeah.
respect that. do you think?
Um,
But do you think the Warriors are gonna win because they're just a better like shooting team, or they have more experience, or they just like they vets, or they in their
I
prime?
don't. You know, one thing, man, I never care about, and this is with any sport. I never care about experience because you can win at the drop of a dime.
Mm-hmm.
It does not matter how many Super Bowls you won. It doesn't matter how many playoffs you won. None of that shit matters because just look at the game that just happened here that we're talking about now. Like that wasn't supposed to fucking happen. Like I
Fuck
believe
no.
they were ahead like 10, 12 points at the end of the
Yeah,
third.
yeah.
Like nigga, you can go to sleep then. Like the Warriors are done. Like you could bring on the second string niggas and just let them
People
do what
was.
they do. Yeah,
That's
you
what
know.
happened. Steph was on the bench, and
Yeah.
like when they brought him back in, he was already like he wasn't as hot. He wasn't as like ready to shoot again. You
Hmm.
know,
Hmm.
Steph is not a bench player. He's a starter. So when you take starters out, they had such a great start. I honestly think during the game, the Warriors like, man, we're gonna blow these niggas out. Like, I'm sorry,
Right.
like
Right.
these motherfuckers suck, and that's how I felt like they played. It was like, yo, we the better team, and it's just like, yo, in that fourth quarter, Marcus Smart made like 4 threes.
Hmm.
Horford made like 4 threes.
Hmm.
And that was it. That was the whole it was over. Like because when you get your role players playing like that, it's over. And the one thing people don't know, Wayne, is that Marcus Smart was the defensive player of the year. You know what position he plays, bro?
What's that?
He's the point guard. You know who's the last point guard to win defensive player of the year? Gary Payton.
Damn.
So he's compared to Gary Payton. So that's a bad boy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he gonna shut down whoever the fuck he is guarding. So if he wants to just guard Steph for the rest of this series, that means Clay and Jordan Poole gonna have to get it done. And do you think that they could do that? I don't. I'm sorry.
I don't know, man. I really, I would say Clay of all a few years ago, maybe not Clay right now because he's being really. I don't want to say really, even just like a little timid,
Mhm.
and he doesn't even have. I don't feel like he maybe let's say that Clay is giving it like 75%, right? I think
Mhm.
he's only allowing himself to do that or telling himself it's okay to do that because Steph is still good. You know what I mean? I feel like he would break out that other 25% or at least a small half a portion of that extra 25% that's needed
Right.
to pull his team together if Steph got hurt, got injured, whatever the case may be. I really believe like everybody is kind of falling on Steph for the most part, rather than falling on the three of them. Like Draymond, he's not hitting like he used to. So yeah, I think that everybody's kind of giving it a little bit, not all of their all, because they know that Steph is the person to lean on. So I think if anything, Steph is more Kobe than
Mhm.
Jason Tatum is. I personally believe that.
So I think that it's going to be like
Yeah.
Jason Tatum. Yeah, Marty crazy. The elbow has to be the dumbest bone on the body to break. Yeah, and it's really hard. So that motherfucker got hurt. But I like what Hammond said, and I agree with this. This is the Warriors' last shot, and it's over after this.
Why?
The reason why is because of who's coming. You got Luca and the Mavericks. You see what
Mhm.
the fuck? I know they got beaten 5 games of gentleman's sweep. But you saw Luka out there.
Yeah.
He averaged
They still
34
good.
points. Like Luka got that old Larry Bird game. I'm not athletic. I'm not fast. I look like I'm drunk. I'm fucking fat. And I'm still out here balling on you niggas. That's how Luka Doncic plays. So if he gets like, he loses 20 pounds, he's gonna be like Jordan in this bitch. The way that boy play, man. If he learn how to shoot 3-pointers, it's over. That nigga's 22. Then you got Memphis, bro. I don't even gotta talk about John Morant. Like, for
He
real.
already proved himself.
Like
He's already
John
proved
Morant, he dunks over everybody. I don't give a fuck what he do. And his team is a defensive-minded team, and they all are underneath the age of 25, bro. Everybody. So they got their prime is not here yet. They're not gonna hit their prime till they like 27, right? Then you got the Pelicans, man.
Yeah, but Zion, what they gonna
He's-
do?
I don't know what Zion doing. Him and
Right,
his buffet
right.
eating ass.
I
You know what I'm
wouldn't. I
saying?
would not sign him to. Yo, I hate to cut you off, man, but real quick, and we can jump back on what you think about the
Go
Pelicans.
ahead.
I heard Charles Barkley said, like, yo, I would be the skinniest person in the world if they offered me $200 million. Like, and that's
Charles
fact,
Barkley
bro.
said that.
That's motherfucking facts. He's right about that, man. Like, I don't care what position you need me to play. Like, how much you need me to lose 50 pounds? Man, that's a lot, but I'll do it because 200 milli, son. And how old is he? 21, 22? What are you doing,
21.
man?
I think he's 21. Yeah. I mean, he
What are
like to
you
eat,
doing,
man.
man?
He like to eat, man. That nigga like to eat. I like to eat. Everybody like to eat, but he like to
Yeah.
eat. He a big nigga, so he like to
He's a big
eat.
dude, man.
He like to eat good. So like,
But
Hammond
200
said,
mil though.
200 milli. But that team, bro, they got Brandon Ingram,
Mhm.
and now they got McCollum. Yo, that's a real team.
Yeah.
And they got young boys that can defend. Yo, man, Zion, man, he get together, bro. That's like a good team. That's like that's a really good team, bro. And then Ahmed said the Clippers are coming back next year. Bro, if Kawhi's back,
Yeah.
I know this is the most brittlest nigga in the world, but if Kawhi comes back, did you see PG-13 this year? That motherfucker right there was balling. He got his mental health together. So I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of shit. And the Warriors, I'm not saying they had an easy break to the finals this year, but a lot of niggas got injured on their way to the finals.
So you know, I didn't hear you say LeBron and
Oh,
Westbrook gonna
excuse
make,
me.
you
Let
know,
me
did-
also
how do you
mention
feel
the
about them?
motherfucking Lakers
Right.
are going to be back. Hopefully they do something with Westbrook, but they got to have a new coach. And this new coach is supposed to be, you know, he's supposed to be a good. He's supposed to been a coach. You know, he had another young black coach out there. He paid his dues. So maybe they can do something. But I'm saying like the Lakers are definitely probably going to be like the 6th or 7th seed. They might be playing, but they still going to be like a tough out because they got fucking LeBron. But I can't consider them because they only got LeBron. Because Anthony Davis is out there playing like me. For real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And Westbrook,
Well, he's coming off an injury too, as well, right?
this motherfucker get injured. They say he got injured on the bench this year. I ain't trying to hear that, nigga. Fuck you get injured on the bench, nigga. How you get injured wearing Givenchy, nigga, and all this fucking Bulgari and all these beautiful things? How you get injured wearing chains on the bench, nigga? Like, for real, like, he's the most brilliant motherfucker in the world. So I like the Lakers because I'm a Lakers fan. But other than that, I don't see no evidence of how they're gonna be better than the Clippers, how they're gonna be better than the fucking Dallas Mavericks, how they're gonna be better than anybody. And you know, trades ain't even happened yet, bro. So we might see Kyrie Irving here in Dallas. That's very possible.
Let me say this. This is one question I want to hear because we always leave out the Hawks and how they
I was just talking
may
about the West
stand,
Coast.
you know.
I was just talking about the West. I ain't even talking about the East yet, but go ahead.
So let me ask you this: what team would you compare to the Heat, where it's just like they just can't ever make it, no matter what? Would you say they're like the Buffalo Bills of the NBA? Would you say like are the Hawks as bad as the Heat? Like they get a certain distance and they can't finish. They can't, you know, they lost the COVID year, and I don't know, man. Like what's going on with the Heat to where they just don't have that killer instinct anymore?
Honestly, you remember the Heat made it into the playoffs, you know, or the play-in tournament, or into the bubble. They made it to the finals. You know what I'm saying? They just played the fucking Lakers. I mean, I'm not. LeBron is the most disciplined athlete probably, out here in basketball, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
During the pandemic, this nigga was biking through LA,
Yeah.
the whole motherfucking LA. And I've been there. It's big as a bitch. This nigga's biking there. And Anthony Davis is with him. So you give LeBron James 4 months off and then tell him to come play some summer basketball with a whole bunch of motherfuckers that, they missing their wives and their girlfriend on the side and they weed and all that shit. LeBron don't do none of that shit from what we know. So LeBron like, I'm just hooping. That's what he likes. So that's the reason why they won. But like the Heat, man, I think they're just missing one player that could be consistently the scorer because Jimmy Butler does not like to score on a consistent basis.
You say does not. I'm sure he would love to.
No. That's not his personality. That's not the way he played basketball, bro. Remember, he scored 45 points in the series against the Celtics, right?
Right.
They won that game. Then the next game, he scored 9. And it wasn't because he wasn't trying to score. He just wasn't making the baskets. It's because this motherfucker wasn't shooting. He passing it to everybody else. Go ahead and make the shot.
Mm-hmm.
This nigga was on the street 2 months ago. Why the fuck is he out here shooting this 3-pointer? Nobody ever heard of Max Strus. You don't know who the fuck this dude is. Who is Max Strus? Who? Why are you passing it to him? But Jimmy's not like that. He's a team player. He wants to pass the ball around. He won't play his little defense. He wants everybody else to get involved. I respect that. But you got to have that Kobe killer instinct sometimes. Sometimes in the series, bro, you got to be like Giannis be. Giannis be like, yo, I'm averaging 40 this fucking series. Fuck it. You just go out there and dominate. The Heat don't have a player like that because Jimmy Butler is not that dude.
This is going to sound weird, but you know how people just don't see it. And some people, I don't see it in Jimmy's face. Whatever energy that I get for him through seeing him on TV, I don't get like that like you're saying, that score. I don't get like that person, that go-to guy, that leader. I don't see that. Like
he's a leader, but he's not a scorer.
And Giannis, I don't see.
Yep.
I don't. It's something about him. I look at him and I'd be like, if I were a GM or something, I'd be like, I don't want him on my team. He's not worth however the hell much they're paying him. It's something in his face that I'm like, nah, I don't get it. I don't see it.
He fights with motherfuckers on his team too. Remember earlier in the year, he almost got to a fist fight with,
Udonis.
Yeah, well, Udonis.
Really, nigga?
Look at Hamas.
Godfather.
Hamas said, who? He talking about Max Strus. Who the fuck is this? Why are you passing the ball to this nigga in the conference finals? And then everybody got mad at him because he took the shot. Remember?
Yeah.
First of all, they was down the whole game. They lost the whole game. From the first basket to the end, the Heat lost the whole game. They finally came back in the end of the fourth quarter, and they really got close. But Jimmy Butler took a 3-point shot that was the worst I've ever seen. What? You wide open. Why are you leaning into the shot and then like this, trying to see if it's gonna make it? You looking like this shit ain't gonna go in.
Right.
Like Jimmy's just not that dude.
Yourself.
Nah, he's not that dude. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Do you think that in that game where you said like one game he scored 45, the next he scored 9 because he was passing so much, do you think that he would have scored close to 45 or a higher number if he would have shot the ball rather than pass? Or do you think like he still would have had like 9, maybe 10?
Jimmy Butler is a 20.
I'm sorry.
Jimmy Butler is a 23% 3-point shooter, bro.
Mm-hmm.
He is a mid-range type of person, kind of like Kyle Lowry, right?
Right.
When you force a motherfucker that really can't shoot like that to go out there and be like, yo, you have to be our offense, you are asking to lose. And he's exerting so much energy that he doesn't have that cardio built up. Like when you go to the like LA Fitness or some shit, or you go to the court and you play basketball, right?
Right.
Motherfucker, when we was young, not me, others, when we was young, niggas used to be hooping for 5-6 hours. Like Jason Bond, that's on the chat right now. This nigga will hoop for 5 or 6 hours. That's all they would do. They wake up, eat breakfast, go hoop, go get something to eat, go hoop. That's all niggas would do all day long. But they gonna shoot, they gonna defend, they gonna do all of that shit. But when that's all you do is facilitate and defend, when you get asked to shoot, that's more energy being exerted. And Jimmy Butler just ain't built that way. And if he was shooting like that, I don't think he will make all those shots because he's a 23% 3-point shooter. That nigga cannot shoot.
So it really didn't matter if he passed. Maybe he felt like he wasn't
Hey,
gonna be able to make those shots that game. So why not pass?
I
think he
understand
kinda
that.
knows when he's on, when he's off.
I think you do too. I think every shooter knows, you know what I'm saying, like what's going on. They either got it that night or they don't. And it's on and off. Everybody's like that. Motherfucking I remember Steph Curry during the season, he started off high. Everybody's like, oh, Steph Curry gonna be the MVP this year. And then like that shit slowed up. He went through like he was shooting 19% in games. Steph Curry, the best shooter probably of all time, him and Klay Thompson. Wow. So it happens, but he's just not that type of person. So they need a reliable shooter like Tyler Hero. Tyler Hero should not be off the bench. Tyler Hero should be the 2 guard. Jimmy should be the either the small forward, you know what I'm saying, like the wing, or he should be the point. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Kyle Lowry's coming back, but me personally, this is my personal opinion. I think that Westbrook should go to the Heat.
Oh my God.
You know why? Hear me out.
Okay.
Westbrook loves to have the ball because he considers himself like a point guard, such as Chris Paul.
Right.
Yeah, I know. He's smoking rocks, but he considers himself Chris Paul-like. Fine. So if you had Westbrook out there, even though, you know, he got his fucking problems, he will still play defense. Even though he sucks, he's going to go out there and defend. He going to be a body. And he's athletic enough to go still dunk that shit in the fucking court.
Right.
He don't need to score 20, 30, 40 fucking points every game. He can score his little 15. Jimmy Butler can score his little 15. And you have Jimmy, you know, at the wing spot. But then you have Tyler Hero. Tyler Hero needs to be a 24, 25 point per game scorer. Because he can shoot threes. He can shoot off the ball. He can go to the rack. That's how, and then they need a power forward that can stretch the fucking court, bro. If they had a power forward that can stretch the court, that'd be dope. Like a Kristaps Porzingis type motherfucker that can stretch the court, go to the mid-range, that deep mid-range into that 3-point spot. So when Jimmy goes and penetrate, he can kick it out because Robinson ain't fucking shooting no more. And I just feel like having athletic people that can defend on that team is perfect for their offense and their defensive scheme. But Kyle Lowry ain't it. He's you know, he older, man. He already had his wars. You can't just add him. He's 35 years old. You can't just add him to the end, bro. You just can't. Really. So that's just my opinion. The Heat ain't never going to win a championship until they get another piece that can score consistently. They have no real 20-point scorers. I think they're the first team in the conference finals to not have any players that's like more than one player that scored over 20 points a game. So you can just relying on 12 people to score 12 points. Right. Ain't it, nigga?
So all right. So I gotta ask about the Hawks here in Georgia. I gotta ask you your opinion on them. What does Trae Young need? What does the city need? What does the team need to get in higher rank to get in the higher rankings, man? Because it's like we always come so close and we let go of somebody else. They go to another team and they flourish. Look at Kyle Korver. Look at Al Horford. You know, he used to be a Hawk and now he's in the fucking finals, you know. So what is it that the Hawks need to get to the promised land, to get to where we need to be?
I think I need to start over.
Haven't we started over enough though? Like how much more starting over?
Y'all drafted. I just y'all not gonna do it because that's not what y'all gonna do. Trae Young is not a good player.
Oh wow. Okay.
Because he's horrible defensively, right?
He's not more consistent than Jimmy Butler.
What? Jimmy Butler is a way better defensive player.
More consistent.
Consistently, Jimmy Butler is a 10 times better defensive player. Okay. Offensively, Jimmy Butler ain't touching like Trae Young. But it's a difference between scoring a lot and playing well within a team concept.
Of course.
Like y'all don't even utilize this nigga, but y'all have like one of the best centers in like the league. You know what I'm saying? And y'all don't really like two of them. You have Capella, and then you have a good like power forward. I forgot that dude's name, but y'all don't really like run like sets like off ball sets and like motion sets in like in with the Hawks. And then
Right.
you can score all day long, but like Trey Young scores a lot. He throws up a lot of threes, 10 a game sometimes, and only like, 3 goes in. That's good. That's fine. Whatever. 30%. Okay, whatever. But like when you're not defending and then you really are shooting so much to get 25 points, you're not efficient. So if you're not efficient and you don't defend, why the fuck are you on the court? Because
Yeah.
you're popular and everyone knows who Trey Young is.
Right.
And
Right.
then if I ask
City
you
of
who the
LA.
rest of the niggas on the team, they don't
Right.
have any real true shooters. They got some, but it just doesn't work when you don't have a real true facilitator. That team needs Chris Paul. If they had Chris Paul, that team would be fucking great because Chris Paul can facilitate offenses. So he could be like, yo, Trey, you're gonna go ahead and we're gonna switch, right? The defense is gonna switch on you because we're gonna do a screen, right?
Mhm.
So Trey Young's gonna have the power forward. I'm gonna end up, Chris Paul's gonna end up getting the point guard on whoever we playing. And then what I want you to do is use your athleticism and cut. And when you cut, I'm gonna just pass it to you, but I'm gonna go into the lane to make the fucking defender, that help defender, come into the lane, that center. You're gonna get an open 3-point shot. They don't do that. Atlanta be like, yo, get the ball, Trey Young, shoot the ball.
Right. Right.
And be like, oh, this nigga, give him the ball.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
nigga, what do we like? Trey Young is not a point guard, dog. He's a shooting guard, but he's so short, he has to be listed as a point. So you need point guards. Like, there is no good point guards in the league besides like 2, like Chris Paul and like fucking LeBron. Like, we need points, man. We need point guards, man. We really, really do, bro. And that's the reason why the Nets traded all of that shit for Ben Simmons, because Ben Simmons is a fucking point guard. He just 6'10".
Yeah.
You need good points. Imagine Ben Simmons with the Heat. The point that the team will be the offense will flow like butter, bro, because you got everyone moving. There's motion. The ball getting passed. Everyone's getting open, clean shots. Everyone's touching the ball, so nobody's complaining. You got people going into the paint. You got people kicking out to the mid-range, to the three-pointers. And then your defense is stout because you have point guards that can actually set up when we need to go in the zone. Like, all that's just important, bro. But niggas don't count that shit. Everybody want to score. And the Celtics, back to the Celtics have a point guard and Marcus Smart that's also a defensive wizard. Then you have wings, and then you have a ton of shooting guards that can come in the game and shoot the lights out that you don't even know who exists. But then you also have Al Horford that's big enough to defend the paint when he has to, get rebounds, but also can kick it out to the line and go ahead and shoot threes. And that's the reason why the Celtics probably is going to win the finals. And that's what I'm going with, is the Celtics.
Okay.
Because the Celtics, not only are they young, but they also have hella depth and they're a defensive team. But this is going to be a 7-game series. It's going to be a 7-game series, man.
Everybody always says that for every series that happens. Like, it's gonna be 7 games. It's gonna be 7 games. We'll see, man. I honestly feel like the Warriors are gonna push it out, man. I really think they were embarrassed enough. I think they're a team of embarrassment. They showed up and they just got washed, and they're not gonna let that happen again, man.
I mean, this next game should be a blowout because the Celtics are good for a fucking blowout.
Mm-hmm.
Pause. They're good for a blowout. Like, the Celtics are good with getting beat by 40 points one game. It happened to the Heat, it happened in the Bucks. And they don't give a fuck. They'll be like, hey, we got fucking ran off the court. They don't care. It's kind of like a boxer that, like you said, a boxer that takes rounds off. Like, fuck it, I ain't doing shit this round. I'm just going to do my little lazy jab. This nigga ain't gonna hit me with nothing. He ain't got no power. And then you just do it. That's what the Celtics do. They conserve their energy. And then when they get back into, the Garden on whenever that game is, Tuesday or Wednesday, when they get back into the Garden, it's gonna be a fucking problem. Cause you think the Warriors fans are crazy? Nah, the Celtics fans are gonna call you everything.
Yeah.
Nigga, spick, kill your mom. I'm gonna come kill you
both
tonight.
teams too. Yes.
Yeah, they throw shit on you, they throw shit at you, they mad as hell. And the Celtics players, they love that shit because they got the craziest fans, man. So I'm giving it to the Celtics in 7.
Cool.
But if the Warriors blow them out just by shooting and shooting and shooting and shooting, because Jordan Poole does not get no respect. Y'all don't really know who he is yet, but that motherfucker is a monster, bro. And
Yeah.
I know this is controversial, but their depth lineup, I don't think the Warriors' depth lineup is going to work this series. I think, in my personal opinion, they should literally start Clay, Poole, Steph, right?
Okay.
You know what? I'm wrong. It's not going to work because that is their depth lineup doesn't work. So maybe they should do Steph, Poole, and then put Clay on the bench. But they would never do that because Clay is fucking Clay Thompson. I don't give a fuck how injured he is. But if you had Steph, Poole, Wiggins, right?
Mhm.
And then you had, Green as that forward. And then, you got Looney out there to do the defense. I think that might work. That might work. But having having 3 shooters and then 2 small interior men is not going to work against the Celtics because they got athletic interior men as well in Al Horford and then also in Williams. So they have athletic dudes as well. So this is a perfect matchup. I really, really, really like it. A defensive team versus an offensive team. It's just going to be cool, man. So I'm hoping that it goes 7 games because I want to see interesting games and have shit to talk
Right.
about. You feel me? I just want to see the complexity, but I really, 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 really want the Celtics to win because I feel like they have a great defensive mindset and they also have very young and upcoming talent. And you can see how Jaylen Brown and how Jason Tatum can take over the league because they both are just like amazing young players, bro. And then Marcus Smart, to me, it feel like Marcus Smart is a 20-year veteran. This motherfucker been around since H-Town. Like he's been around forever. So this is a dope finals. This a finals that I'm glad we have this finals and not like the ones that we had like last year because I don't even remember that shit.
Yeah,
You
me
know what I'm
neither.
saying?
Me neither.
I know it was Giannis versus somebody, but but
I forget
it was the Bucks versus somebody. I can't fucking remember. Oh, the Suns. It was the Suns. Yeah. Yep. So all right, man. We almost at an hour. So we said we was gonna stop in an hour, but I kind of do have another topic I want to talk about real fast.
Let's bring it, man. What you got?
It's a boxing match tonight. I'm a big boxing fan.
Okay.
Um, Devin Haney versus George Kambosos, and it's actually in Australia. Yeah, I think it's free for us in America, but it charges out there in Australia. It's like $49.99. But here it's gonna be on ESPN. I'm watching that shit.
Okay.
And I think that boy's about to come and bring back them belts. Cause George Kambosos, he had to weigh in 3 times to make weight yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like George Kambosos being at home in Australia, having that good, whatever they be eating out there, kangaroo and shit. You know what I'm saying?
So
Him chilling with the family. Yeah,
he's the
man.
Zion Williamson of the
Right.
sport.
No, I mean he's not usually, but I just feel like he at home, he comfortable. He got on his nice little coats and shit in the summertime. He looking fly, bro. He just won the belts, and I feel like Devin Haney coming out there come fuck him up. Devin Haney is a superior athlete. He has a better jabs than Kambosos. Kambosos is just a very active fighter, so he's active. When he throws a punch, he throws 6 punch combinations, which is great for the judges. But I feel like Devin Haney should be able to outclass him. But there's a humongous chance that Devin Haney loses this fight because Australia judges are known for being some shady motherfuckers.
Okay.
They don't. You got to knock a Australian motherfucker out when you fight out there. So Devin Haney, bring back the chips, man, to America, bro. I'm rooting for him. He's a great fighter, a very young fighter that can really he's just like a really great offensive talent. He has great footwork. He has great defense. He has an amazing jab. He knows how to punch in the right places. He knows how to dictate time and space and speed. But Kambosos is just he's just a pit bull. He gonna fucking fight with you. You knock his ass down, he gonna get up and try to knock your head off. So it should be a good fight tonight, but I expect Devin Haney to win. So I just wanted to talk about that, touch on that, man. Hey, did you want to talk about CM Punk?
Oh yeah. We can I can talk about that for a minute. It's not gonna take too long, man. Yeah, so he had to relinquish the AEW championship. He had won it last Sunday
Hmm.
at Double or Nothing. I had watched that, man. It was incredible. That was such a good pay-per-view, man. It was so dope. Um, but what I can say about this, I think he said he what he said is that he had a few things broken. He didn't get to specifics.
Damn.
I say relinquish. What it is they're going to find an interim champion. They're going to do something this week, this Wednesday for Dynamite, where they're going to have a battle royal. Whoever wins the battle royal is going to fight John Moxley. John Moxley's number one contender. And whoever wins that match, they have another pay per view coming later on this month called the Forbidden Door, where it's going to be, AEW talent versus New Japan Pro Wrestling. And they have this, New
Wow.
Japan has some of the greatest wrestlers in the world. So that's going to be an incredible matchup. That's going to be a great pay-per-view because it's one of those things that's unheard of. WWE doesn't ever want to ever do anything of that caliber. They don't want to mix with other wrestling companies. They if it's not WWE, they don't really pay too much attention to them. It's like they're not a part of the atmosphere. But
Right.
AEW, they know that it's money to be made there. So they're definitely going to do it. They're going to come together. They're going to have that talent in AEW, mostly here in America, and that talent in Japan is going to be incredible. So whoever, I think it's going to be Tanahashi versus whoever wins against Moxley, and they're going to be the interim AEW champion. Now, if I can say real quick, I am a Punk fan. I was very happy when he came back to wrestling, came back to AEW, but I don't want to say I'm happy about this. I will say that he was fighting a wrestler last week named Hangman Adam Page. Adam Page is who he won the championship from. I
Okay.
wanted Hangman to win that match.
Why?
I love Punk because Hangman is a better wrestler. He held the company on his back. He was the first true AEW talent that didn't come from WWE or that wasn't a veteran that held
Homegrown.
the championship. Homegrown, there you go. He was that the first real AEW champion to me that held the company on his back. I think he's a great wrestler and he showed improved. I thought that Punk was not ready to hold on to the AEW championship even during the match last week. He messed up too many times.
Oh.
Hangman Adam Page does something where it's called the lariat clothesline, where he's on the outside of the ropes and he does like a front flip into the ropes and then hits the person with a clothesline.
Hmm.
Punk tried to steal that move and he failed twice. He tried to jump up. I don't want to say he's too old because then that would insinuate that you need to
He's
be a
too
certain
old.
age to win. Yeah, and that's not the
I
case
mean,
because I know a lot of older wrestlers who just still look great and can do a lot of things.
right.
CM Punk just kind of, I don't want to say he's like it was like this to me. It was like watching a versus battle with Dipset and the Locks. You know how the Locks came out ready to win, and Dipset was
Right.
kind of lollygagging and shit.
Right.
And that's what happened to Punk. I think Punk kind of came in, lollygagged a little, embarrassed himself. Then he tried to put the match back on. You know, but either way, he still won. I don't think he was ready. I think a match between him and Tanahashi wouldn't be that entertaining because
Wow.
Punk isn't what he used to be. He's still an
Damn.
attraction. He's still great to watch, but he does not have that anymore. So I'm kind of in a sense glad that they're going with in another direction. I hope that Punk heals. I
Hmm.
hope that he gets the help that he needs and he can come back whenever he wants to come back. But I'm actually happy that they're able to go into a different direction going into this New Japan pay-per-view. So,
So
kind of bittersweet.
the Japan pay per view, I'm watching that because
Word.
I've never heard of that type of mashup. Not in pay per view like land and like not in this level of professional sports in terms of professional wrestling, right? They don't
Right.
do like mashups like that. I mean, you had WWE versus WWF, but this is something totally different. You know what I'm saying? Like,
WCW. Yeah.
right. And
Yeah. Yeah.
then, WCW, they bought the motherfuckers. You know how it went. So they just said, well, we're going to buy you this whole fucking shit, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel where you're coming from in terms of CM Punk. I mean, CM Punk been wrestling since what, the early 2000s. And
Yeah. Yeah. He's in the 90s, in the 90s,
right.
that he took like a 7-year hiatus once he quit WWE. And,
Hmm.
that was with no other wrestling company. So he just kind of chilled until AEW came around.
And I respect the fact that I like where you coming from. Like AEW needs to build their own roster and their own attractions, and not just be, you know, getting motherfuckers that no longer want to be over there, over here, you
Right,
know,
right.
and like
Mhm.
building your own attractions, your own superstars is dope. And I will always support AEW because they embrace hip hop and they understood how
Yeah.
much hip hop is a part of professional wrestling because African American people love hip hop.
Mhm.
But you know, that there CM Punk getting injured like that lets you know that he might be, you know, a little long in the tooth.
Right.
But
There you go.
because he getting fucked up, you know what I'm saying?
There
That
you
shit was
go.
like international news. This nigga like, yo, I got to go to the hospital because I got multiple broken shit. You can't
Right.
be jumping off the top rope, man. You know what I'm
Bro,
saying?
he slipped off the top rope on Wednesday, just past Wednesday, in a move that he always does.
I know
He gets
that move.
tag, jumps on the top rope, and he jumps and lunges and hits you with a clothesline. Bro,
Yeah.
he slipped and fell, and I was like, see? Like,
He,
bro, you're not ready to hold the championship. You're not there yet, man.
but you
You're not
know,
there yet anymore.
the motherfuckers that's popular is gonna bring in the fans. This is
Right.
and this is for everybody. This is for us in the podcast. This is for me in music. This is for everybody in the world. Since high school, it's been like that. If you're popular, you're gonna get more motherfucking people to notice you. And if more
Mhm.
people notice you, that means that people will put promotional dollars behind you because you can attract more eyes. That's why certain beautiful people on TV and certain motherfuckers ain't. Let's keep it a buck 50, right? CM Punk is
That's why they're trying to
inter
change that. Yep.
yeah, CM Punk is internationally known.
Mhm.
So they need their own super duper star to fight him, lose, and then take the crown.
Right.
They did the same thing with The Rock, right? That's the reason why they brought Hogan back so he could fight all these motherfuckers. You know, so that you be like, oh, I beat Hogan, so that's like a tip in my cap, you know.
Right.
So and then you can say like, oh, Hogan's gonna bring everybody in the world to come watch the sport. But when you had this other person he's fighting, you build them up over a certain point in time. This is basic business bullshit,
Exactly.
entertainment business.
That's what's
So,
best for business. Absolutely.
so CM Punk needs to be out there, his old ass, you know what I'm saying? Clotheslining motherfuckers until they have a star that's on his level and can surpass him. But they need people to bring in them fans, man. So we want AEW to continue to build. We want to be able to be entertained. I've been checking out some shit, trying to learn the people. I am a novice. I'm a neophyte. I ain't gonna fucking front up here like I know what's going on. You know what I
Right.
mean? But I'm trying to learn because it's cool and they love hip hop, and I'm all
Mhm.
about that. Anybody that supports hip hop, you mean you support me and my black ass, so I'm gonna fuck with you the long way.
Word.
So I
And
saw a
West Side
picture.
Gun and them, man. They be
I mean,
all
they're there
in the
every
crowd,
fucking
bro.
day. They're
All
almost
the
at every
time.
match.
Front row shining, bro. Just
I want
gleaming
him.
out.
I know this might seem crazy, but I really want him to get into the ring.
Why?
Why not?
Oh, why? That's a good
We
answer.
seen Mike Tyson.
Yes.
We seen
Yes.
motherfucking, I think Jamie Foxx got out
Shaq,
there, got power
Shaquille
slam.
O'Neal did. Dennis
Yeah,
Rodman back in the day. No, you're right. You're
it's
right.
fun. It's like bring them motherfuckers out there. It's fun. But Pat McAfee,
Pat McAfee.
Pat
Yeah.
McAfee. I know why he's with the company he's with because they big time, he big time. But I would
Mhm.
love him to be in AEW and do some matches because
Yeah.
I would love to see him get fucked up. Because I
Man,
like
I'm
him, but
telling you.
still.
Look here. Watch his match back at this past WrestleMania that happened in March or in April. It's on Peacock. All right.
Mhm.
I'm telling you, you're gonna be amazed by how athletic this dude is, man. He was incredible. Incredible. He did
He's
great.
a football. I mean, he's a football player for years. Even though he was
Yeah.
a punter, this motherfucker still had to go out there and run. You can't
Right.
just go out there and kick
Right. Yeah. Kick a ball and sit down, nigga. Yeah, there's
Hey,
more to it.
nigga,
Yeah.
ain't like that. And he liked to party hard. So, and plus, he liked to fight. So he's an overall regular crazy white dude. A
Mhm.
regular
Mhm.
crazy white dude can wrestle. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. They might not be able to do anything else, but they always down to let's wrestle. That's
Right.
that's how they get down. So,
Let's
all right, man.
let's go ahead and wrap it up, bro, because we went a little longer over the hour that we said we were gonna do, man. So let's go
Yeah,
ahead and do a
man.
wrap up, bro.
So, thank y'all. This is our first time doing YFM Sports.
We
We just
appreciate it,
having
y'all.
fun with it, but I
Mhm.
appreciate the engagement. I know everybody in this motherfucker like sit their ass on the couch, watch some fucking football, go outside and shoot some hoops. You know what I mean? Everybody in Russell, they family and shit like that. So we probably gonna keep this going. I don't know. We're gonna do it every week or every other week, or when we're gonna do it on Wednesdays or whatever it is, but we're gonna keep it going. So let us know in the comments if you like this shit. Make sure that you like and subscribe. And I'm gonna let big homie Wayne take it from here because he be knowing all this shit. and this is what he do, and I need to go to the bathroom. So
Thank y'all.
hold up. Let me turn
Yeah.
on the music.
All right.
Bam. Do your thing, big homie.
Thank y'all so very much, man, for tuning in for this edition of YFM Sports. Let us know if you like it, man. Continue to do these episodes. We can put this on as a segment for when we do these live episodes on Saturday, man. So thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed it, man. Hope you liked it. We love your feedback, man. So let us know what you want to talk about. If you want to talk about something in the past that's sports related, whether it be wrestling, basketball, football, let us know, man. This was great. This was fun. Hope you enjoyed it as well. Thank you guys for joining us again on this lovely Saturday, man. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you spent a couple of hours here with us, and we greatly appreciate it. We're pushing our dreams, and we got to thank you for that as well. Hit us up on everything. On YouTube, you put in YFM, the YFM podcast, man. Like, subscribe, hit that bell, rock that bell, man. Let us know that you like it. We have over 100 different videos for you to watch, to you to jump in, to you to just make a whole little playlist of YFM, the You Feel Me podcast, man. Turn it on while you cleaning up, turn it on while you in the shower, turn it on while you outside cutting your grass on this lovely Saturday, man. Anywhere your free podcast or so, You Feel Me podcast.com. Find us on Twitter and Instagram, man. That's YFM Pod. That's on both Twitter and Instagram, YFM Pod. Follow us on there, man. I usually run the Twitter feed, man, and we'll be wilding out on there. Be finding different little things to talk about, man. So please follow us on that. We got merch. We do have merch. That's the You Feel Me podcast.bigcartel.com. We have some new merch coming on the way as well. Just give us a little time. We're trying to get the little ins and outs, the I's dotted on the new merch, on the new shirts, on the new hats. So we're gonna get that done as well. Also, we are Jimmy B. Phillips, the guy you just saw, my partner, man, in crime, one of the greatest rappers of all time, man. He dropped 2 albums last year, Fi and Kobayashi, working on a new album right now. Just recently released a new single called WG. Okay, y'all be on the lookout for that as well, man. Go ahead and buy one. I think it's 99 cents to purchase the song. He has some shirts made. I think there's a 1986 fashion. That's where you get that from.
Yes, sir. That is
right.
whatever this is.
1986 fashion. That's 1986fashion.com. You can buy all of his merch and also support WG, man. That's a new single off the new album that's coming out in a little bit. He's still working on that, man. It's going to be incredible, man. Patron, we're on Patreon. We got $2 level, $10 level, $20 level. Of course, you get a little something back when you subscribe to that as well. All the monies that we get go straight back to the podcast, so we can keep this thing rolling, keep it going, keep it moving, and just continue to produce great podcast episodes that you guys just love to hear every single week. Speaking of every single week, we do the live episodes every Saturday at 1 p.m. Okay, 12 p.m. I think are you on Central Time?
Yeah,
so
Central Time.
Central,
yeah.
Right? So and also every Friday at 11 a.m. is when we drop a new episode. We've been consistent for almost a year. We dropped a new episode, man. We haven't failed. We haven't faltered. We're still doing this. So please, man, like and subscribe on YouTube, anywhere your free podcasts are sold, anywhere you can get them. It's Amazon, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, all of those places, man. Also YouFeelMePodcast.com. You can go straight to the source, man. Go straight to the T. That's where it is, right there. All of our podcasts, everything in the past, everything that we've ever released, just right there for you to enjoy, man. Fearless. Am I forgetting anything, G?
New song, The Dark Is Out. It's a pop emo song, so you niggas might not like it, but it's out there and it's doing all right numbers. And Crimson Road comes out, new single that I had coming out, doing a video for too, comes out on the 17th. So I'm dropping songs like every week or every 2 weeks. I ain't stopping, and definitely working on the next album. So appreciate you mentioning that, big homie. We're gonna have a new podcast every Friday, as big homie said, and then we live stream on Saturdays. So hit us up, let us know what's going on, tell us what you want us to talk about, any topics. And the best way to really get in contact with us and keep up to date is just join our email list. So in the link in the description of this and all of our podcast episodes, we have email, so you can put your email in there, subscribe, and we're gonna start sending out like newsletters and shit weekly to let you know what's coming up, what's going on when we do our live streams, when we do our podcast episodes. So I think that's it, big homie, man. Only thing we gotta do is say peace to the people.
All right, peace to y'all, man. Thank y'all. Go out there and enjoy y'all Saturday, man. Go have fun, man. Go swimming. Go cut your grass. Go wash your car, and please change your sheets if you haven't changed your bed sheets this week yet, man. Please do that, bro. It's a new movement. I'm starting. Change your sheets every week, bro.
And wash your stinking ass.
Please do, man. Love y'all.